2, 3, 4.
Rev up your engines!
Now, Ram is attempting to compete with the Ford Raptor. The Ram TRX production, they say, is going to start in September. Well, they're kind of late to the dance here. The Raptors have been out for a long time, but now they say in September they're going to start having these 1,500 Rebel TRXs, they're going to call them. Now, it's going to get that insane Hemi engine, so they say it's going to have 707 horsepower in a pickup truck, and it'll be all-wheel drive with air lockers on it, and they're calling it Rebel. Well, here we go again. Chrysler making a product that sounds good by name only. A Rebel, right? Just like their Jeeps. They have nothing to do with the old Willys Overlander Jeeps that they had in the Army. And they bought that name ages ago from the old AMC Corporation. And now it's a name only, so I'm assuming that these Rebels, it's going to be a name, but what's behind it, if it's the same old Dodge stuff that it's been for decades, I wouldn't say they're going to hold up all that well. If I had a choice between a Raptor that had been out for ages, Ford perfected them, Ram Rebel, yeah, you know which one I'd pick. Well, here we go. Unlike Ford, that's shuttered a bunch of their electric car and electric truck plans for the future, GM says that they're not changing anything. They say their electric vehicle plans remain untouched. But here's the interesting part. They say that they're on track to put over 10 electric vehicles on sale by the end of 2020. Here's the rub. They're going to be on sale in China, and they're going to be made in China. And GM says that their stress is going to be on pickup trucks and large SUVs, not cars. There's an advantage to an electric truck. Torque, pulling power of electric motors. Definitely there's an advantage to them. GM pulled $16 billion from various credit lines they had and sold $4 billion in bonds to keep the process rolling. And now it's in talks to borrow another $2 billion from banks. Thinking that that's going to be the future, maybe they're smarter making large SUVs and trucks first. There is an efficiency for big machinery, like I said before. The 18-wheel trucks and the delivery vans, they make a lot of sense, electrification, versus a normal car that everybody drives. So, who knows? Maybe they'll succeed on that, where they failed with everything else they tried. Zach C says, Scotty got a Toyota Tundra 5.7. Any ideas on the best fuel oil additive for keeping engine and fuel system clean? I'm trying to choose among Marvel, Mr. Oil, Techron, Gummont, and Toyota Generator products. Well, you know, if you change your oil regularly, you really don't need to do anything to the oil. Oils have good additives in them today. If you do have a really crowded up engine, yeah, you can add some Marvel Mystery Oil and let it idle for like 20 minutes and then change the oil right after. It is a good oil. Normally, you don't need any of that. As for the fuel system, the Techron's good, but any fuel injector cleaner that has PEA in it, it's a nitrogen-based cleaner. I believe it stands for tetraethylamine. It's a nitrogen-based cleaner that all the good fuel-injected cleaners have. Now, just like with the engine oil, though, a lot of times you don't need to add anything. Modern gasoline in the United States is excellent, has no problems. If you buy good gasoline in the United States, you don't even need that cleaner. Now, if you buy an old junky engine, somebody didn't take care of the vehicle, and if you get a borescope, it's real easy these days. Take out the spark plug. You can get a borescope for like $19 on Amazon that'll plug into your smartphone, and you can look inside the cylinders after you take out the spark plugs, and if they're covered with carbon, yeah, you might want some cleaner, but if not, you don't even need to do anything. I've had Toyotas I've been for 25 years. I never put any cleaner in them, and they still run perfectly fine. Holden says, I got a 2008 Honda Accord 2.4-liter engine, 198,000 kilometers. Must be in Canada or someplace. It runs smooth, burns a quart of oil every 1,500 kilometers. No smoke. What could be the reason? How should I fix it? Tried some mystery oil. It didn't work. Next. With mystery oil, it's for cleaning things out. It's not going to stop oil burning. First thing you want to do is find your PCV valve and change it. If it's stuck open, it can suck raw oil, and it's supposed to suck in crankcase ventilation vapor, just vapor. That's what the PCV valve is for. If oil hits it, it's supposed to stop it. If it's broken open, it'll suck oil. Cheap fix. If that doesn't fix it, live with it. Just means that your piston rings, or your valve seals are worn. That kind of mileage, that kind of age, Hondas often will burn a little bit of oil. Oil's cheap. Engines cost thousands and thousands of dollars. If it's not the PCV valve and it's not dripping on the ground anywhere, live with it. Anthony Tellis 4 says, hey Scotty, how's it going? I wanted to know your opinion about a 2016 Scion TC. I'm thinking about buying one with 25,000 miles for 12 grand. I've been looking at sporty, reliable car. I want to know your opinion. Well, those are great cars. They don't make them anymore, but it doesn't really matter. They always were Toyotas anyway. And the advantage of the Scions were they were all made in Japan. The best Toyotas are made in Japan, even to this day. You want a really good Lexus? Most of them are made in Japan. Get the ones made in Japan. Now they make some of the SUVs in other places. But you want the best Lexus? Get the Lexus made in Japan. The Scions were all made in Japan. They're great cars. And it's not like you can't get parts for them. They were just Toyotas. They shared Lexus parts, Toyota parts. It was just a name, and the name failed, but the cars didn't. Junior 9399 says, I got a 2010 Toyota Corolla 1.8. It burns a quarter of a tank on the way to work, 62 miles. I let it warm up for 10 minutes before I start rolling, but on the way home it burns less. I need your help, please. All right. 1, don't warm it up for 10 minutes. Don't warm it up at all. That 10 minutes sitting there warming up's wasting fuel. Then you say on the way back it doesn't. So that means when it's cold, it's not running right. So what you want to do is watch my video, how to clean fuel injectors without removal, and pay a mechanic like me to pressure clean your injectors. I charge $100. I got a machine, I hook it up to the fuel rail, takes about 45 minutes, runs the cleaner through, and I've had very good luck with that. Now, the only other thing it could be is listen to your transmission shift. If, when it's cold, it doesn't shift or it takes too long to shift, it's staying in the lower gears, it's going to burn more gas. That's just what can happen. And, of course, check something else. Sometimes if your brakes are dragging, when it's cold, they're rusty, they drag, and then when it warms up, they stop dragging. You might have dragging brakes. Check that too. I love cars and dogs says, is there any way possible to remove all the transmission fluid out of the transmission without using a flush machine? Can I take the lines off the cooler and run the transmission? All right, first, no. Do not do that, because then you would eventually run your transmission dry and burn the stupid thing out. So scratch that. Throw that away. Now, if you don't want to have a flush machine, and I don't believe in flush machines, some cars you can do them all, some you can't. You'd have to find out on your particular vehicle. What you do on them is you drop the pan and the filter, and it gets that out. And some of the transmissions have a little inspection plate on the bottom. You take a few bolts off and the inspection plate is there. Then you turn the engine by hand until you see the drain plug on the torque converter. You remove the drain pan and then all the fluid will come out. Some cars you can actually do that, some you can't. Find out if you can on yours, and if you want, do that. But don't take off the line and run it till it drains out. You'll burn the transmission out. Sass 6666 says, Scotty, I'm thinking about getting my first bike. What do you suggest, used or new? You're getting such a deal on used motorcycles. There's so many guys that get it, it scares them and they can't drive it anymore. Or they get married and their wife says, you're not driving that motorcycle, we got kids on the way, and they got to sell their motorcycle. Motorcycles are mainly what? Toys. And what are toys? They have very low resale value because they're toys. They're not necessary. So when you can get them used, you can get it for 10, 15 cents on the dollar if you price around. Now, which one should you get? Depends on what you want and how skilled you are. You say it's your first. Don't go out and buy a 1000cc Suzuki that can do 190 miles an hour. You'll kill yourself. Get a smaller bike. Any of the Japanese bikes will run forever if you take care of them. So just decide, what do you want to start to learn on? If you're kind of afraid, go get like a 125cc Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, whatever, and learn on that. If you got a little more, get a 400 or 500cc one. But don't go out and buy a 1000cc one right off the bat, because it might finish you off. When I was young, I was an idiot. I bought a BSA 650, which was at the time the fastest production bike in the world. I'm lucky I didn't kill myself on it. And it only had a whopping like 68 horsepower in it, but that was a lot back in the 60s, right? Today you can buy motorcycles that have 200 horsepower. There's no way you control that when you learn how to drive. Nick 20 says, Scotty, how often a year do you wash and wax your cars? Okay. Well, the wax, I try to do it once a season, every 3 months, 4 times a year. Washing, just depends how dirty it is outside, you know? Washing it is one thing. If you're gonna wax the car, of course, first you gotta wash the car, then you gotta let it dry completely, then you wax it. That's how you do the wax completely. And that you should do like every 3 months, 4 times a year. If you do it at the beginning of each season, then you can remember a lot easier. Washing it just depends on how dirty it is, how many birds crap on it. But I got that great product you can wash your car with just a spray. It's waterless cleaner. Check it out. The stuff really works good. It's that blue bottle. Stuff's amazing. Every time birds crap in my wife's car, strangle the birds. Now, I just have the bottle sitting outside my driveway. I spray it on, wait 4 or 5 minutes for it to soak in the bird poop, and then I wipe it off, and not only does it clean it, but it waxes. Great stuff.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.